Well, Mortal Kombat 2021 is getting some ridiculous criticism, so if you're not interested in spoilers for the movie, this would be a good time to tune out because there's no way I can talk about this without spoiling the movie. Anyway, given the situation that Mortal Kombat 2021 found itself in, given the restrictions on movie theaters and the fact that the movie was also on HBO Max, day and date with its theater release in North America, it still pulled in $72 million. And given that the movie was rated R, I'd say that's pretty good. And you're likely going to see a sequel, which will 100% have Johnny Cage in it, probably as the main guy. He's likely going to be the Kano of that movie. I would hope so anyway. That's how the movie sets it up. As you know, if you watched it, Johnny Cage is at the end of the movie, and they're going to Hollywood to meet him. I'd say he's going to show up right at the beginning of the next movie. He'd probably be the main character, well, the secondary main character or whatever. And hopefully they get somebody good to play him. But the movie did all right. And as for any time a movie like this comes up, there's going to be a little bit of criticism from the NPC. So CBR.com says, Mortal Kombat Sonya Blade deserved better. Unlike the male Earthrealm fighters in 2021's Mortal Kombat, Sonya Blade has to prove her worth on screen to receive her marker. So this is a little bit of a ridiculous article. I don't want to go over some stuff in it, but I also want to just point out that these armchair writers, this is almost like a pitch, like a job application. That's why I like to call these things. Like, hey, maybe you should let me write the script. Even though they would probably do a terrible job, because the way that they're describing this is ridiculous. So, as you know, Sonya Blade gets her marker at the end of the movie after defeating Kano. It was a good setup, given the legendary rivalry that they have in the games. Giving them a death battle was a pretty good way to go, and that's what got her her marker. Now, they're arguing in this article that it's quite sexist, that she didn't get her marker until the end of the movie. The other fighters didn't have to do that. And they're saying that this undervalues her. First off, the moment she gets her marker, she unlocks her power. They complain about that in this article. Like, why didn't she have her powers at the beginning of the movie like everybody else? Because she didn't get her marker until the end of the movie. Like, are you stupid? What are you doing? What are you talking about? And for one, she's probably the most developed character in some ways, the most developed side character. She gets a lot of time. She's capable of fighting people with markers without special powers. Like, she's set up pretty capable. She beats a guy, Kano, who has his marker and his power unlocked. He has his laser eye unlocked. She beats him. No problem. Well, she had to fight him a little bit, but she beats somebody without a marker. She's capable of hanging with the chosen fighters. That's not enough, though. That's not enough. She needed to have the marker right away. She could have got it off screen, they argue in this article, which is freaking ridiculous. Like the whole payoff is seeing Kano, who is set up as a terrible person, get his up and comings by her, and then she gets his marker, a more deserving fighter, as you know, she wouldn't betray them like he did. But anyway, listen to this stuff. 2021's Mortal Kombat sidelines Sonya Blade in service of a thin revenge plot against Kano. While some see Sonya's revenge against Kano as equivalent to a hero's arc, it still leaves two problematic truths in its wake. One, Kano, the racist sexist we love to hate, receives more screen time than Sonya's motivation to defeat him. 2, the only woman Earthrealm fighter is depicted as unworthy of Mortal Kombat has to prove herself to men? Unlike the other Earthrealm fighters, Sonya doesn't gain a marker until Mortal Kombat's conclusion, limiting her training time. Fight sequences and use of her energy ring powers? It's a pretty sexist move. And that about sums up the entire article right there. I was wondering when an article like this was going to come out. I can't believe they waited until like a month after the movie until putting this out. But, you know, they made sure to get one in there eventually. So they want to sneak these out without people catching it. Well, maybe they won't make a video on it if we wait a month. But we're not going to read through this whole thing. I just like making fun of the ridiculousness of this stuff. Like Raiden literally telling Sonya to stay away from the training grounds as she's not been chosen to save Earth. Well, why would he waste time training someone that's not chosen to be in the tournament? You have to have a marker to fight in Mortal Kombat. She doesn't have one. What is he going to train her for fun? Like the whole movie is set up as having urgency to participating in the tournament, even though there is no tournament technically in it. That's going to either be the second or the third movie. They want to do these as a trilogy. I'd imagine the first Mortal Kombat will be in the next movie. But Raiden has there's an urgency to training the fighters to protect themselves and to fight in Mortal Kombat. At the time, she doesn't have a marker. So why the hell would she be on the training grounds? It's a ridiculous notion. It's like, did you pay attention to the movie at all? Like, sure, you're useless to me because you can't fight in the tournament, but let me take time training you. It's just ridiculous. So, I'd say she has the best character arc in the movie, but apparently because she doesn't have her ring powers right away, and because Raiden says, "Get away from here. You're not a fighter." The movie is now sexist. Movie's got a lot of problems. I think sexism isn't one of them, but you know how it is. It's another example of how you can never satisfy the NPC. They will never be satisfied. So this is why there's just no point in trying to please them. It's why you run around in a creative circle, because it's never going to be enough. As Dave Chappelle said recently, you're never woke enough. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to make fun of this a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. Is Mortal Kombat sexist? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.